Check it out. You already know what it is. Your girlfriend's trendy topic. Duro de lo duro, fuerte de lo fuerte. El que se acostó con tu tía.
Back to another episode of The
Y esta
HatedTruth.
falta de respeto.
What's up, guys? It's Bayo J3 here.
Hey guys, it's Bae.
What's up, guys? It's B. How's it going?
And I'm here. Maybe I can introduce myself right now. Check it out. I go by the name of Negro's Party. Your girlfriend's trendy topic. Duro de lo duro, fuerte de lo fuerte. El que se acostó con tu tía.
What?
And if you can say that fast 5 times, we'll give you $5.
Who's the other?
$5?
Yo, so
We got a
here's
big
All
budget.
of that?
Yo, listen to me.
Who's
Damn,
the other?
Chip, we're gonna go off on a tangent right now.
Okay. No, you're right.
Listen,
You're right.
before we go, listen. There's a story behind that.
Yeah, I
There's a
remember.
story
Oh,
behind-
shit, I remember you saying it.
I told you this
Yes,
story.
yes,
I told you
yes.
the story.
So, yeah, guys, we have Negro here. I had the pleasure of being part of his podcast like 4 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that.
Something like that.
Something like
It was
that.
definitely in the middle of quarantine. That's what happens.
And we went ahead and I asked him to join us. This is What Are You Smoking Part 2, and we are going based off our first episode where we were talking about weed, how to go ahead and obtain your card to legalize it. I mean, there's also now that it was voted by the public to be legalized, but it's not legal. Not yet.
Not yet.
Until the
So
state.
if you get caught now, you're still
You're
what?
still getting
Yes.
caught. You're still getting charged.
You have to.
You gotta wait until the state legalizes it.
Will they
puts
let
it
you
into
go
part.
once they make it legal?
We don't know.
I mean, of course, it's legal. It's like, I mean, you can't drink and drive. You can't smoke and drive, I would assume. It's gonna be
Right.
same
That
answer.
makes sense because it's being
that makes a
under,
lot. That's the cop.
it's being under the influence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, same concept. Same
But then,
concept.
how would you measure that though?
Well, that's what they're trying to figure out.
Interesting.
You have to. Yeah, there has to be a way.
I'm a
That's
blunt
so
in, sir.
crazy.
I'm a blunt in. Just one blunt.
Right. Just one thing. Just one thing.
Just one blood. One blood. 2 hours ago.
Un bate. Like, I'm a blunt in.
Well, I didn't even think about that. Like, if you get stopped over and you're high, what test are they gonna run
Well, I think that's
to
what,
know how high you are?
that would
Probably the same type of like sobriety test. They'll probably figure out things. as
Like a
far as,
breathalyzer?
Yeah.
yeah, they'll probably have to
I'm
put-
interested on what's gonna be the
process.
weed version of a breathalyzer.
That beats- oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like what?
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
you're right.
That's
I
interesting.
mean, usually when you get pulled over, it's all about your eyes, your slur speech,
That's true.
and the
Yeah.
smell. Same concept. Smell. Does it smell like weed? I mean,
That's
no,
it.
no.
If it smells
it's
like
not
weed,
yeah.
it's weed.
And your
Right.
eyes are bloodshot. Instead of slur speech, is more of slowness of speech.
So like your reaction.
If I ask you,
Like a sloth.
like I'm insurance, and you look at me like,
Sir,
Yeah.
oh,
you're an officer, right?
So.
Did I give you my registration yet?
So we'll get right into the hookah portion. Bae, you have any Snapple facts?
Snapple Facts comes out of actually finding out where hookah originated, which was in India, as Chulo told me before the episode, which I also had. But it was just used by the rich people and people of land class, as they say here on Wikipedia. Good source right there, guys.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is a very good source.
Good source. They actually-
Underappreciated.
I agree.
I mean, it's gotten better over the years.
It
For
has.
sure.
It has.
For sure.
It has. And that's pretty much the major history that they have behind it. I mean, there's not much else behind it except that Dominicans adopted it.
I mean, we definitely did.
Definitely good.
I mean,
You can't give
Adopted
anything
it
to
and made it a so. What was it? So was hookah meant to be social to begin with? Was it meant to be a social activity?
Can I
from
just
the
throw a
jump?
fact? Maybe you
Go ahead.
guys can correct me, right? So my understanding of hookah was that hookah was the purpose of it. It was supposed to be after you ate, right? So it's almost served as a laxative. So that
I was
when you-
gonna say.
Yeah, so that when you would eat, you would smoke hookah, and then your body would automatically just want to go to the bathroom. So I don't know if you guys know that you smoke. Sometimes you just want to go to the bathroom a bit quicker than usual. Just
thought about it.
that usually happens to me more like when I eat and then I'm not drinking. Like if I'm not drinking,
yeah,
I'll
I
be
would
like,
agree.
damn,
I would
like,
agree.
If I'm at home, like
I think it's the
just cooking by
bathroom also
myself.
because this is my thing. When I drink, I usually don't go to the bathroom. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah, if I smoke, it's kind of like more of like if I just smoke, like I'm going to the bathroom in like 20 minutes. Like
I had never paid attention to
Your bowel movements.
when I'm smoking
Yeah.
hookah. Yes. I had never paid attention to my bowel movements as I'm. Yeah, that's a good point.
I've never seen that,
Interesting.
or I've never paid attention to that.
But yo fumo un poquito más de lo usual.
Okay.
Just to let you guys know on the podcast, we are actually smoking the hookah, and it is lit. So if you go to the YouTube channel, you can actually see it.
Figuratively and literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. It's milky.
It's milky.
Yeah, it's milky. But so I want to touch upon how to make a hookah. Like, you know, not everybody I know when I first bought my hookah, I didn't know how to make it. I thought, you know, it was simple. The water, the hookah flavor, and then it would just not pull.
Well, let's do a breakdown. Can we stop pulling it and bring it up here for the meantime?
We'll bring it up here just so that people can have
for our visuals. Thank you.
What's going on, right?
Visuals.
It's places right here. Make sure we don't put the clothes.
Because if you smoke hookah, we'll enjoy the episode, right? Let us know what you guys think. Correct us if you know we're giving any wrong information.
The back.
But
The back has
substance that are highly important.
and for those who don't smoke hookah and might not know, this is what the visuals.
This is the visual. So my preparing of a hookah, right? You know, first is about, you know, flavor, right? And you know, what flavor do you appreciate and enjoy while you're smoking? I crazy enough, I started with double apple, right? It has more of a, I don't know if you know what ani is.
No.
no, but
Well, for those who are highly Dominican, like hick Dominicans, they will know what ani is.
Dominicans.
Yeah, it had. Oh no, actually, you know that candy that's purple and it looks like a barrel.
Yes.
Okay, that's the flavor that double apple has.
Okay.
It's like licorice. I think that's what it's called. I think it's called licorice.
Yeah.
That's like a licorice. So I loved that candy. Not a lot of people like it, but I do. So that's the first flavor who I was actually like infatuated with, right? Some Arabic friends of mine just put me onto it. So you know, when you're preparing your hookah, you know, I started learning about hookah heads, like these rubber heads, like later on, but they would always do them in like
The fruit?
naranja. How you not naranja? Tangerines, right? So nice.
Isn't it a grapefruit though?
Grapefruit. That's the right one.
Yeah, it is.
Grapefruit, right? They're nice and large. They have a nice big surface, right? And I didn't really know this. They were prepared for me. They would cut it, you know, chop it up, do a little.
All you do is smoking.
Yeah, and all I did was smoke it, right? And then after a while, it's kind of more like, yo, listen to me. I actually enjoy doing this. You know what I mean? How does this happen, right? And the fluff that a lot of us, you know, use now didn't really apply to the way that they were using it, just because, you know, they used the grapefruit and they had like almost like a snow cone cut to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. So and they would put like toothpicks in the bottom so that the flavor wouldn't drop, and the flavor would be on the sides where the grapefruit had, like, you know, the juices in it, because it allowed the tobacco not to burn as quick. And they would put they wouldn't put the quick lights. So these are the quick lights, the ones that you see in the video. And for those who are hearing this audio, the quick lights are the circular ones. The ones that they would use are the cubes that are coconut shells.
The coconut.
Yeah, so it's the coconut shells. And it goes back to almost like that natural thing. You know what I mean? You're not using chemicals and whatnot.
Yep.
And those are the ones you would use. And then the foil. And as crazy as it sounds, you know, one of the most important parts is, like, you know, the whole pattern that you put on the foil.
The holes?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, if you put too many holes, it burns too quick. If you don't put enough holes, it doesn't burn enough.
Yeah.
So, you know, you want to make sure you have a nice little, like, organized pattern that comes around in a circular motion around it. And then water level, I think water level is more of a preference. You know, how much do you want to pull? I want to feel like I have a good, like, resistance when I pull, because it allows me to have a good smoke. And some people get creative, you know. I'm gonna say 99.99% of people put water. People want to get creative. Sometimes they put like tangerine juice. Sometimes they put milk.
Country club.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never done tangerine.
Yeah, actually tangerine juice is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Some do alcohol. I don't recommend alcohol. I hated it. Yeah, I hated it. Milk gives you a very thick smoke.
Does it taste like milk though?
It's not even cloudy though.
Like, does it do anything to the flavor?
Minuscule, right?
Okay.
It's not like you're gonna taste milk when you smoke, but you know, you still get a different smoke than if it had water.
Yeah.
I just don't like milk. I don't know.
You don't like milk?
No, not like whole milk. Like I drink like.
So you just put
Almond milk, oat
It's
milk.
the same thing.
It's milk. Right? It's milk. And you know, I think for the most part, I think that's really like the process of it. I think, once you go into the rubber heads, then you need to know the importance of like fluffing, right?
Yes.
And how much longer your smoke is gonna last with one head if it's fluffed when it's not fluffed. And for those who don't know what fluffed is, right? Fluffed is more when you take the time to like cut up your tobacco and it's nice and divided, right? It's not like you just put it like a nice like big goo, like when you grab mayo, and you just put it on top of your bread the first time and it's like all accumulated. So that's unfluffed, right?
The way McDonald's makes their McChickens.
Exactly. Even though I like it like that, but that's besides the point. But when you talk about hookah, right, you want to make sure you're spreading the tobacco around, but that tobacco has enough air to like breathe in through when the coals are on it. So it doesn't all burn like in chunks.
Yeah.
So like small portions of it's like burn, and you get to like really taste the flavor and enjoy it.
That was definitely my problem. At first, I would just be like packing, like just
stuff.
stuffing it and stuff. I'm like, yeah, the more
The
tobacco,
more-
the
the
more.
better.
Yeah, because to reality, if you don't understand the process of like the coal, the air, the smoking, the breathing in, you're kind of like, yo, the more tobacco I put, the longer it's gonna last. But then think about it, like, if you put a bunch of papers together and you light them up, they're all gonna burn quick.
Yep.
But you put them separately, it's gonna
longer.
burn. They're all gonna burn, but they're just gonna burn slower. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And that's when it comes to like enjoying a good smoke. So, wow, that's my process. I mean, I don't really talk about all this. I just kind of just bing and do it.
Do it.
Yeah, because think about it,
Natural.
even when it comes to sports, like, baseball players can talk to you about the definition about it, like, listen to me, I want to hit the ball up ahead,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I want to have this angle, launch angle, you know what I mean? But reality is, when you're up and bat, you don't really think about this shit, you just swing.
Right.
So
Same
it's the same thing when it comes to hookah, right? You know all the process to it, but when you smoke it, you just smoke.
Yeah, that's true. And now people are getting creative, right? So now you don't only have grapefruit, you have pineapples. You can do pineapple heads. What else is there? I feel like those are the
Watermelon heads.
Watermelon heads.
I actually just made a pumpkin head with
for Halloween.
with Halloween for my boy Tyler River, who's like the hookero guy.
No hookah, no boy.
No hookah, no boy type of guy. Yeah. So that was to be honest, I think that was one of the creative things that we've done. Because the thing was like we were kind of like debating like, yo, like, are we gonna do this before to see if it works or not? And we're like, nah. I was like, nah, fuck it, let's just do it from a shot. Like, if it worked, it worked. And if it didn't. And luckily, it came sure. Yeah, you know what I mean. But to be honest, I think once you understand like how hookah works,
right,
you can really make a hookah out of anything. Listen, I've made hookah out of those milk
cartons?
the jugs.
The gallons?
Yeah, the gallons. Yo, my bottom piece broke.
Your base was
my base broke. My base broke. I was around, bro. And we were smoking like on the stairs, and the hookah fell. Ding ding ding, bloop. It broke. So now it's kind of like shit, and it's almost like fun. Like, fuck, man, shit. We still want to chill and smoke and talk shit.
Right.
So I was like, and I told the guys like, yo, listen to me, I'm gonna make this shit work. Right? We grabbed the milk thing. Pour the rest of the milk in like a small little jug. We grabbed it, put on top. We put a bunch of tape around it. And the reality is,
It worked the same.
It worked the same. It worked the same.
Because all your base does is hold the water.
It's hold the water.
The rest of it does the work.
Yeah, and actually, it's an important thing because also the smoke gets filtered to the water for a small portion of time, but it makes a difference like in the smoke quality that you're getting.
Well, we might have to talk after this because I have ran through 2 bases.
Yeah, you did.
I ran through 2 bases. Let me tell you, for all of y'all that like to smoke hookah, if you're smoking somebody else's hookah, just like be careful. We hookah owners greatly appreciate us not having to buy a new base every other weekend.
So wait, what does the water do? Is it working as a filter for it, or what does it do when you're pulling and you're obviously pulling from the coal and the tobacco to come down to the water?
So here's the thing, right? So you could smoke without the water.
Yep.
You could make that happen. It's a bit uncomfortable. I guess maybe it's uncomfortable because we've been used to smoking with water, right? But the smoke quality is also different, right? So people like to say that the water does not serve as a filter. I like to believe it does, and I'm explaining to you why, right? I haven't tasted the water after, right? But the water smells differently.
It does.
Yep.
As soon as you pour it out,
it smells different, right? So also like like the syrup that's with the tobacco, like that sometimes drains because of the heat. It drains through the tube and it goes into the water, right? So like it obviously serves as a purpose of of the hookah. So, I recommend that you always have clean water.
Yeah.
Over everything.
Over here it said that the water is supposed to serve as a filter, but I'm trying to understand how water can really serve as a filter.
Well, just think of, I'm gonna put it to you like this, right? So grab an orange, right? Wash it in water. Take the orange out and then drink the water. It's gonna taste a bit like orange, whether you like it or not, right? So it's the same thing, the smoke passes through it because the middle tube.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, don't
drink.
Actually,
Don't drink the water.
Listen to me. He's drinking White Claws. It's almost the same shit. It's almost the
Tangerine.
same shit. Tangerine.
There you go.
So you know what I mean. So that's the same thing, right? So the smoke passes very lightly through the water, right? But it also, it probably does some sort of pickup with the smoke, right?
Okay.
That doesn't really get to you right away.
Okay.
See, simple. Simple facts.
And Chulo, do you make your hookah similarly, or is there any different techniques, or?
That's the exact same way. The water, since I've already had my hookah for so long, I know exactly how much water I need, what the full is. I have a backpack for it. Coal, even though I'm running low. Flavor, even though I'm running low. But yeah, especially the coal setup, you want to not burn it all at once. You don't put the coal in the middle, you put the coal on the outside.
Yep.
And that's advanced stuff, though. Like,
you rotate,
that's advanced stuff. The average person puts the coal right in the middle.
Right in the middle, yeah.
Right in the middle. And the reality is
when you go to the club, they put it right in the middle.
Yeah, because they want you to
refill.
They want you to consume.
Refills.
So
And the refills nowadays are like $20.
Yeah.
And that's if you don't go.
Tell them why you're mad, babe. Tell them why you're mad.
Because it shouldn't be $20.
Whoa.
The flavor's still good.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so here's a trick that a lot of hookeros in the clubs do, right? They'll grab your head, right? They'll take it off, and then they'll shake it and put it back.
I've seen that.
And the reason for that is that when they shake it, the ashes of the coal
Go inside.
fall onto the flavor. So when you try to smoke, it's not gonna smoke as smooth as before. Also, that you can order a refill.
Yeah.
So when the hookah comes, be like, don't touch my shit. I don't want it.
I just wish nowadays. I feel like before, when hookah started making its way into clubs, it used to be like replacement of coals. Now you don't even get that though. Like as soon as the coals on your hookah head burn, you have to get on. And I get it. Consumption, it's a business. You have to make money. I get that.
And it's a lot of money. You make a lot of money.
I know, because I know that when we go out, if there's hookah, we get in a hookah.
Of course.
So I get that. It's just annoying, I guess I'll say.
And you make your money back in one hookah for the flavor.
For the flavor?
The flavor you buy for the $25 and the
20. Listen to me. These guys are not buying it for 25. We buy it because we buy one. These guys are buying cases, so they're probably getting it at 12.
They get it in bulk.
They're probably getting it at 12. When they buy the coals, they're probably buying the big boxes of coal. They're probably gonna get like $1 for every roll of coal.
Yeah.
If you get it at a back price. Like, I mean, the hookah money is a lot of money, and profit-wise,
Yeah, of course.
Well, that was something that I was gonna ask. What do you guys think? I feel like everybody has a habit, right? So some people like to have a drink in the middle of the week, or some people like to smoke their hookah, or like the first episode where people enjoy a little bit of bud. It all costs you money. What do you guys think? Like, where are we putting the cost of hookah? And I'm talking about somebody who smokes hookah. No. I'm talking about somebody who smokes. Like you own a hookah, right? So you would think, okay, he owns a hookah. It's cheaper because he's home. But I don't think people realize how much the coal, the flavor. If you're gonna have friends over, you need hookah tips, right?
Well,
but
also,
so I'm saying, like, where are we putting the cost of someone who smokes regularly? Is it not?
It depends. If you have I have a hookah. I have a hookah spot.
Okay.
So I get the.
Where do you buy it?
Is in Paris.
Yo, DM Chulo if you want to know about the hookah.
DM Chulo for the hookah.
Negative.
He's not trying to
Add Chulo swag.
I'll send him there. He'll give you a good price, but not my price. So I get the huge flavors.
So you also
You get the
buy
kilos?
in bulk.
Yeah,
the
I buy
kilos?
those. Yeah.
Well,
I get the huge
I don't
ones.
think it's in bulk.
he gets the kilos,
Yeah,
right?
the
So
kilos.
there's different sizes. There's like the $3 size, which is like a little box, maybe like this, maybe
Yeah,
like
I've seen that one.
3 inches by 1, maybe something like looking like that, like these little boxes, right?
Yeah.
Then there's like the $12 ones, which I think, I'm not sure what the correct amount of is, but it's more of like
That's a
maybe
square
like
container.
square container. But then there's a bigger one to that container. That's usually what the clubs buy, and that's probably the one
And
that
that's
we
what
buy.
you're buying?
Yeah. And I get that one for 15.
That's a good price.
Yeah.
Then I get the
What does
hookah,
it usually go for?
20, 25.
Okay.
So now you can't tell the people where to go
No, of
because
course not.
now they're gonna be like, well, Chulo gets it for 15.
Well, they're not gonna get my price.
Don't DM Chulo.
Don't DM me for the.
Yes,
that's
DM
my
Chulo,
blood.
DM
That's
Chulo,
my
oye,
blood.
Si tú eres linda, mándale un DM. He might be more likely to.
Or no, you can just smoke mine.
Exactly, you smoke with her. Smoke mine.
Oh, y so si es linda, she could come smoke yours.
No, linda, fea. I don't.
Community hookah.
Then I get the rolls for about $1.
Okay.
I get the lollipop tips for free. That's why
I think I know who you out. I think I know who you're gonna kill already.
As soon as they came out, I had them.
Yeah, those hookahs.
I bought the hookah for $20. Yes, the whole thing, the hose.
Maya ones like this one.
Yeah,
the exact same one.
Damn, that's
good.
Now
that shit goes easy goes for like $60.
The rubber top I bought separate, which was he charged me $5. This hose he gave it to me for free. So yeah, and then he gave me the pin to poke the hose for free.
Yeah, you can stop bragging at any point.
No, just keep on going.
But if you go to like a regular hookah person, you want to buy a good amount of stuff, I would say it maybe run you $50 to $70.
It's supplies only.
Yeah.
Supplies only. Yes.
Yeah, so I would, that's still something
but
that like.
But somebody that smokes, let's say once a day, yeah, you'll run through it. But if you smoke once a week, which that's what normally most people do, I mean that'll last you maybe like 2 months.
Okay, tampoco pa tanto.
2 months.
I think it determines like how often are you smoking, right? So the same thing with somebody who smokes weed. It's what amount do you need to be satisfied?
Right.
So like like I've gone through points where like and don't call me nasty for this, but like I'll grab one head, I'll smoke half of it one day, and then the next day I'll wake up and I'll smoke the other half. You know what I mean?
Did you change the water?
Not even. Same shit. But you know what I mean? I also think when it comes to like the hookah in my house, right? If I have like one of let's call it the quarter one, right? So we got the ones that are small ones, we got the middle one, and then we got the one the chulo guys, right? That small one, I could last a month with that easily. And I'm smoking every day. But the thing is, once again, the amount that I'm smoking on that day is not. I'm not smoking 3 or 4 heads by myself. You know what I mean? Now I got people over. There's a different story. You know what I mean? I got more mouths to feed. In other words, like you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think
fill 2-3 times.
Exactly. But once again, I think when you're able to refill your hookah the proper way, it's gonna last longer.
True.
You know what I mean? When you're now just throwing that thing on and just slapping it on and putting a full on it, but when you're taking the time making your head every single time.
We got the train running by.
Oh, you guys opened the window.
Who opened the window?
That was
Chulo.
It's okay. You let the train pass. It's part of life. Some things you gotta let them pass by. But I think that lets puts the longevity on what you're smoking. You know what I mean? I've seen myself with the same pack by myself all month, and sometimes I've wondered like, damn, I haven't been smoking, and I have. It's just I haven't been smoking a lot.
Exactly. Now, what do you think the benefits are, if there are any, to smoking hookah?
Smoking hookah. Besides
socializing.
Actually,
okay.
Man, you don't smoke, right?
I don't smoke.
So you don't even,
anything.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Okay.
So you don't even no benefits.
So
that you think.
Let's say for example you struggle with going to the bathroom, right? I think that's the number one benefit that you can have.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's people who do, para gusto los colores. I think that's the number one benefit that you could literally put on paper, right? A benefit that you can't put on paper.
But don't you think like Fiber One bars are healthier? Or fiber pills?
Yeah, they probably are. They probably
but
are.
That's fun.
But they're healthier, but this is a benefit.
It's a benefit of hookah, right?
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
You know what I mean? But I think to me is like I'm a social person, right? And and being able to bring people over to your house and having friends feel much more comfortable socializing. I think a hookah is important, right? And I like to say this. A lot of people think I'm crazy for saying it. I think hookah is a social lubricant, right? Because it just makes the process. You're almost obligated to have some sort of sharing with someone when you have to pass the hookah, right? And the conversations that come up, if there wasn't a hookah, maybe these conversations wouldn't come up, right? Because almost at a point where it's kind of like we're kind of almost obligated to kind of be intertwined with something that's common between us that happens to be the hookah, right? Can this also happen without it? Yes, alcohol. But you know what I mean? I think alcohol and hookah almost go hand in hand. Like, you know what I mean? it's kind of like, you know,
Like right now.
exactly, like, while drinking. You see what I'm getting at?
I
So
wasn't supposed to drink, guys.
it's all right. It's kind of I put a little pressure in there.
It took 2 seconds of pressure.
But it was there though. It was there.
I was pressured though. I was pressured.
But I think, you know, I think that's what, you know, I think that's, to me, the most important thing that hookah does for me is I think that it adds a social lubricant to people, and it adds the ability to have conversations with people while you're smoking. And to me, that's highly important, right? You know, somebody else that might not be as important, but to me, like, to be able to have people over, smoke hookah, talk about whatever it is, whether it's politics, sex, relationships, religion, whatever it is, like, these are things that, you know, I think that hookah just kind of facilitates that thing, and it kind of allows it to flow.
You think you know any benefits to hookah?
I feel like it goes very hand in hand to what Negro was saying. But what I did put down here was downtime. I feel like hookah has become a lot of people's downtime activity. Just like before, people used to grab a beer and that would be suffice to sit there and enjoy a nice evening, where now I feel like our generation specifically is kind of like, after a hard week's work, you go home and you just go home and you go, you know what, today I feel like having some hookies. And it's just like you sit on your couch and you put your feet up and you smoke your hookah, and somehow it's all good in the world. So I think it's a great downtime. And that's the only, not that that's the only benefit I see, but that's because I have always viewed hookah as something that you do socially. It's something that people get together to do. There's been times where, you know, my friends and I sit together and they're like, oh, look, we're gonna get together, what do we want to do? I feel like smoking hookah today. Cool. You go somewhere just to smoke hookah. You know what I'm saying? You go, you pay for a $25 hookah, you pay for your $30 refill. Like, it is what it is. You know?
Yo, pockets is
you know?
deep.
Yeah.
Well, you sharing.
Oh, you sharing.
You split the cost.
Always, right? So like, you got two friends, you got two hookahs. One pays the hookah, the other one pays the refill. You know, you work it out.
Okay.
Those are good friends though. I'll say that much.
I'm not hanging out with negative friends.
Yo, next thing you know, you're like 3 hookahs in, like, yeah, my nigga, who got the next one?
That's what well,
You gotta take turns. I mean, I feel like the only benefit that I like about it is when I'm drinking and I smoke, it increases, I guess, my, lack of a better word, like my high, my litness. It like increases it. So that's why
your little meter.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? I drank this much. I smoked some hookah. I don't gotta drink anymore. I just keep smoking hookah, and it keeps me up there with the litness.
Got it.
And think about it, yo. And I think that's the one thing, like, when it comes to drinking, right? So when you go out, you know, you have a cup in your hand 24/7, right? If you're just smoking, if you're just drinking, right? You have a cup in your hand, and when you go out, you have that tendency of just sipping, and sipping. But when that sipping gets interrupted by the hookah, you could grab the hookah and give a couple smokes, and you're not even thinking about your drink.
Right.
Because you got your drink in your hand and all, but you still got this hookah. And the thing is almost like, and that's another thing,
You get clocked.
You get clocked.
I was just gonna say.
I hate.
Tell me about hookeros.
Alright, listen to me. Alright, this is my personal opinion.
Chief Keeps.
This is my personal opinion. This is my personal opinion, right? I think there's a rule.
Yes.
This is my personal rule.
I think there should be a rule.
Rules.
There's the 10 Commandments. There's the 10 Commandments of hookah. Tyler River got them, but he's gonna announce them soon. This is my thing. When this is my personal opinion, right? This is not the thing to go by. I think when you're smoking in a group of 4 or more, right? There should be 2 hookahs.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay.
My personal opinion. 4 more, us 4, okay, we go with 1 hookah.
Yes.
If it's 4 more, we're gonna need 2, right? And understand, you get 3 pulls and you pass the left.
Oh, 3.
You get 3, and but you need to make sure that you enjoy those 3. Like, it's
Take
like,
time with the 3.
Take those 3 and enjoy
Right.
them. Do I always follow them? No, not necessarily. But you know what I mean. I think it should be 3 and you pass, right? But you know,
I think one of the rules should pretty much be, if you have the hookah in your hand, you shouldn't be the one leading the conversation.
you can't, and that's my issue. And that's my issue.
Because as you can all tell, he leads the conversation.
And no, that's my issue, right? So like, I'm the one to have the hookah in the hand
And just go rambling on.
Right? So and this is me, and like, but my boys is the point that they don't even care anymore. Like, yo, my nigga, tú estás hablando mucho, pásame la hookah. Like, tú me entiendes? So like, I think, you know, also being surrounded with people who are comfortable enough to be like, yo, give me the hookah, right? Because sometimes it's kind of like, you're gonna be like, oh, well, I don't know him like that. You're
Yeah.
asking for a hookah, right? So, you know, you also want to smoke with people who you're comfortable with, who are gonna be like, yo, let me get the hookah. And it's not like you're just gonna pass the hookah and keep on going with the conversation.
Right.
Of course.
If somebody who I don't know asks me for the hookah, something inside me's kind of like, yo, who the fuck does nigga think he is?
Right,
Like,
absolutely.
I just got, and then
Especially if you purchase the hookah and they're like, yo, you'll pass it.
No,
You'll
I'm
pass
gonna
it.
be very honest with you. That is something that, at least personally, when I owned a hookah, pissed me off. Like, especially in the summertime when you go to like outside get-togethers, people find hookahs and create gatherings.
Oh yeah, they
And
fly.
there was
yeah.
Remember?
socializing.
gatherings. So yes, exactly. So like my thing would
They
be
flock like birds.
all the time.
Everybody
So
goes to the hookah.
It's like you throw the bread and you know how all the pigeons come?
yeah, that's exactly how it is.
Pull out a pack of gum. Those are the
Everybody want-
Right.
everybody want gum.
And there's been multiple times where, I don't know, for some reason, I don't know if it's like people think that, or maybe at the time, like people thought that it was less for a girl to own a hookah versus like a guy, where people didn't assume it was mine, right? So like we would be sitting there smoking it, and it would be random people would come by and be like, oh, can I have some of the hookah? Or one time somebody came up to me and it was a guy.
Yeah.
It annoys me because
I
it's
just
like
realized
common courtesy.
She always gets angry.
I do not always get angry.
We're gonna call her the Hulk or something.
No, that's
She
not
Hulk.
true.
But you know-
but I agree.
She's passionate.
I just think, and you know what it is? I just think I'm big on common courtesy, and it's a common courtesy thing. But it's like somebody randomly came up to me and was like, "Pass the hookah," and I was like, and I can't.
Uh-oh, she was
No,
angry.
No, but you know what it is?
Call him out.
But you know
No,
what it
just
is?
kidding.
But I'm gonna tell you how I responded. So he was like, "Pass the hookah." A big part of me wanted to be like,
Shut the fuck
"Well,
up. my
who the
shit.
hell are you asking me to pass you my hookah?"
Exactly.
Right. Granted, and then on top of that, it's like you're not friends with anybody here. So where are you coming
Nah, but it's
from?
a
with
it's a
this?
flow lambong. It's a flow
That's
lambong.
what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
I'm
no,
saying,
flow
I don't
lambong.
get
Yeah,
that.
we're not gonna
Flow
accept that.
lambong.
But
Yeah, we're not accepting that.
I've
We're
had
not
that
accepting
multiple times, and it would just be like, he would be like, "Oh, can I have the hookah?" He was like, "Oh, pass the hookah," and I was like, "When I'm done with it." And then he stopped and looked at me, and he was like, "Is it yours?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Oh, okay."
Exactly. You
And
need to shut the
then,
fuck up.
and then guess what I did after I was done with it?
Pass
I
somebody
didn't
else?
know. I didn't pass him the
Good.
hookah.
Then you
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Here you go.
You shouldn't. My
But-
thing is,
Common courtesy.
if I make the hookah, I'm smoking first.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I bought the
that's a
hookah,
fact. That's a fact.
I'm smoking first.
That's a fact.
If I refilled it, I'm smoking
That's
first.
a fact.
And if I change the code, I'm smoking first.
That one's debatable.
Yeah,
If you need to come on, yeah, that's because you still be
Listen,
smoking
listen.
through it no matter what.
Let's do it. If I got the hookah and it was ending, and I changed the code, and now I'm smoking and I'm turning it on.
Oh no,
and I'm smoking.
you deserve it. So here's my thing, right? So I think, you know, one of the biggest things, right, is like anybody who I feel has a comment to say about the smoke, like, oh, this is dead. My thing is like, oh, is that? Change it.
Yes.
That's
Do
my-
something about it.
That's my automatic reaction.
Yeah.
Yo, is that? Change it then. You know what I mean? And we're smoking and we're in a club. Oh, it's dead. Buy the next one.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's my thing,
Yes.
right? So now, you know, when you own a hookah, right? You take it to social like events, right? You're gonna bump into people who are kind of like, you pass me hookah, right? And I don't have a problem passing it, right? I think my issue is almost like the demand that some people feel like they have,
Like they're
right?
entitled to it because it's at the party and
Exactly.
you're at the
But
party.
then in my head, I'm like, did you bring the hookah?
Mm-hmm.
Did you bring flavor? Did you bring coke?
Never.
Like, no. So you need to hold the fuck up.
Yeah.
You need to hold the fuck up.
last.
And listen,
You're not even part of this circle.
and no,
Not part of the
shit,
site.
but shit. And my thing is like, and that's why I'm so picky onto like what circles of like hookahs I go to. Like, unless I don't know who the person
Yeah.
who brought the hookah to the circle, I don't really
You're
want
not
to
jumping
smoke
in.
because the thing is that I feel a bit uncomfortable sometimes because I understand my hookah habits and how my hookah habits can be uncomfortable to others. If I grab the hookah and I start talking, olvídate, bro. I'm smoking with the hookah for half an hour and nobody's gonna notice.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I know that. So sometimes I don't want to cut up with the owner telling me like, yo, pass the hookah. You see what I'm getting at? Like I don't want to put myself in that situation, right?
And that's because you have common courtesy.
Exactly. But then no, there's people que flow lambong.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have
Yeah.
a question. I do have a question that just came up and I actually wrote it down. Because we were talking about like the time between like passing the hookah, right? Why do you guys feel like there's a big difference from when people smoke bud together to when people smoke hookah together? Because I feel like when you smoke bud with people, it's a very strict rule. You puff, puff, pass.
Yeah.
They're similar rules, right? Whoever rolled it lights it, just like whoever prepares the hookah gets to smoke it first, right? So it's like, why do you guys think that in like the weed culture there's more of a, you have to follow the protocols of smoking together versus like in hookah where it's a little bit more
I feel like hookah lasts longer, so that's the reason why weed, I feel like you would pass. Also, I also feel like when people go together to Sife, there's more than one person bringing a blunt. Unless it's a smaller group that you guys brought, that's what you're gonna smoke.
Right.
Whereas when you bring hookah, it's usually one for, like you said, 4 or 5, and then the flock comes and there's like 8, 10 people.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas, and then it's not common for somebody to bring a hookah. Then also, some people bring a hookah because they want to smoke, but then also some people don't bring a hookah because they don't want that attention, that all that. Everybody coming and you have to take care of your thing and you can't walk away from it.
I'm just trying to tell the difference. Maybe because weed has been around longer for it to be like a social thing.
So here's my thing, right? I think that the difference between smoking weed and smoking hookah is that the weed rules are much more promoted than in hookah. Like,
okay.
I'm not a weed smoker, but I know that in weed is puff puff pass.
Like that, right? People know
exactly.
that.
Everybody, you listen, whether you smoke weed or not, you know that it's puff puff pass.
I think that you also know, like if you're going somewhere to smoke weed, you know that you have to partake, like you have to provide within the Sife, right? And where like a lot of people don't get that with hookah. Like you could go, it might not be your hookah, but you know there's gonna be hookah there. So pull up with some flavor, pull up with some coal.
That would, and if you are watching this and if you're doing this is amazing. You should pull up with some coals. You should pull up with some flavors. That would be great. You see what I'm getting at? But like I told you, I think weed has been promoted to us. And listen to me, I'm not huge on smoking. Like I could probably count in my hands times of smoke. Okay. But I know for a fact that it's puff puff pass. Like I know that. You know what I mean? So I think that maybe with hookah, what needs to happen is that we need to know that it's a holla pass.
Holla pass.
You see what I'm getting?
It gotta be in the song. That's the only way people know.
And to be honest,
it has to be in the song.
To be honest, maybe we need a song.
We need a song.
Yo, maybe we need a hookah song. I mean, this nigga Tyler has like a bunch of songs, but maybe he needs to put that in there. Yeah. So, you know what? I'm gonna talk to him.
Tell him.
I'm gonna talk to him. Yo, listen, Tyler, you need to put this holla pass.
Holla pass.
Yeah, because listen to me.
Yo, that's wild.
So we were gonna go into negatives. But because we smoke hookah, I don't really want to talk about the negatives.
Just know that there's more negatives than
There are
positives.
negatives. If you want to start smoking hookah, or if you smoke hookah and you want to know the negatives,
DM me.
Educate yourself, like
DM me.
DM Bayo.
Secondhand smoking hookah is not good either.
You don't smoke. It's not?
Nope.
You can, whatever.
I'll start blowing smoke this way.
I do have a question.
What's that?
All right. What lungs do you think are stronger?
Oh God, Jesus Christ.
Weed lungs or hookah lungs? And Bayo, since you have COVID lungs,
COVID lungs are the weakest.
That
was a low blow, bro.
That is a low blow.
That is not nice.
That's
not
nice.
But it's true.
I was in the hospital. That was not nice.
I know, and I was there. I was not physically there, but I was.
But no, COVID lungs are definitely the weakest.
So here's my thing, right? I think that when you try to compare them, I also think it's the amount of smoke that you're inhaling. Because the reality is whether the smoke is inhaled, right? Whether smoke is not filtered, whether you put a filter in your joint, whatever the case may be, right? You're still inhaling smoke. And there's certain damage that it does to you, whether you want to admit it or not, right? At the beginning when I was smoking, I was
not admitting.
Yeah, at the beginning I was like, nah, this shit gets filtered by water. We're good.
We get filtered by water.
Yeah, when you find these stats that one hookah had equals like 500 cigarettes or some shit.
Somehow that makes it okay, right?
Allegedly, because I still don't believe it. Right? Because this I'm explaining to you why I don't believe it, right? So you guys understand what I'm saying. If you roll up a hookah head, right? I'm only getting maybe like 3-4 cigarettes with the tobacco that I put into a hookah head. That's how I look at it, right? And for some reason, some scientist out there said, nah, you get fucking 500 cigarettes off one hookah head.
Isn't it because of the filter that the cigarette has at the end, opposed to just going through the water and straight into your lungs?
But now we're talking about which filter is better. You're talking about a filter that's cotton,
yeah,
or a filter that's water.
Yep.
I don't know. I think water seems better.
I think-
You know what I mean?
I use a Brita for my water.
You know?
I think it has to do a lot with preference because, like I said before, I feel like everybody has their bad habits, I guess we can say, right?
Their
Quote
vice.
unquote. Oh, there you go. I like that a lot better. Everybody has their vice, and I just think it really depends on what you prefer. I think that if we're talking about which lungs are stronger, I don't think there's a way to tell because you smoke both in very different ways. You don't smoke them both. You know, you don't smoke hookah the way you smoke a joint. You don't smoke a joint the way you smoke hookah because
But
then you're coughing up.
You also have to think about the consistency of how you smoke, and I think that's where the difference really comes into play, right? Because like you're more likely, you know what I mean. I've had roommates who smoke ounces and on top of ounces on a daily basis.
A bud.
Yeah.
Nice.
Listen to me. When I used to live in Clifton, it was different. But you know what I mean. When you compare, the amount of weed that, like, I'm just compare myself to this specific person, right? So the amount of hookah that I was smoking, the amount of bud that he was smoking, there's no way in hell that my lungs were at a disadvantage to his. Like, this nigga was definitely smoking more than I was, right? This nigga waked and baked, had one at lunch, had one after work, and took one before he go to sleep, right? I mean, and like, I went days where I smoked 2 heads in one shit, and that was it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I also think the consumption of it makes a huge difference on it. I just think that when you smoke hookah and you're chilling, you're watching a movie or Netflix or whatever you're doing, it's just such a chill vibe. And I think my thing with weed has always been like, I've always worked in a profession where you get tested, so like I don't like having that headache. I don't like having that headache of having to be like, shit, I'm about to get tested. Like, you know what I mean?
That won't matter.
Then you gotta. Oh no, listen to me. This nigga gives me all the tricks to fucking clear that shit out. You know what I mean? The flushes and shit. So you know what I mean? So that's really, that's
Who's
really.
a flush?
You know what I mean? That's really when you try to compare lungs. I think it's about it goes back to what's your preference, yo. I personally, listen, I'm a hookah nigga to the day I die, yo. Like, y si me muero por la hookah, fuck it, me morí por la hookah. Pero la gocé.
I always said, like, if I'm gonna get married, we're gonna have hookah.
At the wedding.
At the wedding, yeah.
Listen, I'm a hookah nigga, but I'm not that big of a hookah.
No.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have it at your wedding?
No, I'm gonna explain to you.
You have cigar bowls, you have open bar, you can't have hookah?
Listen to me, and I get it. 100% I get it, right?
Well, we bring it in on the side.
So this might be a tangent, right?
Yeah.
But I just feel like that's fine. I just feel like I feel like just the wedding is it's such a sacred moment. You know what I mean? It's a moment that I think I wouldn't take alcohol away from it just because how important like it does to the socializing world.
Yeah.
It's much more worldwide accepted.
Yes.
Yep.
Right? If hookah ever gets to that point, maybe I would. But, because think about it, man. Imagínate tú teniendo que your centerpiece of hookah. Like, you see what I'm getting at? But just think about it. Just think about it.
But
Yo,
I'm gonna sell you on the
June 2021.
No, I'm gonna sell you on your
Hookah
price.
centerpieces.
Just think about it.
2021.
Yo, think about it, right? You're gonna have, let's say, 30 tables, right? You want everybody to smoke, right? You're at least gonna have 2 hookahs on each table. 10 people per table, right? You put 2 hookahs, right? Yo, that centerpiece is gonna be on the way. Nobody go fuck about no centerpiece. Like, to be honest, you like centerpieces?
Yo, but
girls like centerpiece. Nobody give a fuck about no centerpiece.
Listen, I saw
you take the centerpiece home.
Yeah.
You know they're gonna fight for it.
Listen, and if you put 2 hookahs on the table, you know.
Now, think about this. You know how sometimes they have like cigar rolling, but it's in like a different room?
Yeah.
Same concept.
Okay, now we're talking. We can do that.
See, but my thing.
I can do that.
I get why you could do that, but my thing is a good luck finding a woman that would be
You'd
like
be
open
surprised.
to that. I know, and I get that, but my thing is like
I
get it, but I feel like
They also get a hall.
if you do a smoking room, where's everybody gonna be at?
In the smoking.
But you can close it down. The same concept with the cigar.
No.
You're gonna close. You're gonna say you want
Tangent.
somebody.
Rolling it now. Tangent.
Think about it.
I knew it was going there.
You know how you have a cocktail hour? Hookah hour.
Okay, I can do, no, okay, that's cool. I like that. No, I wouldn't say call it hookah hour, but I would have hookah at the cocktail hour.
There you go.
That's nice.
So
but
we
I
go.
wouldn't have
But
a
I-
Hookah
hookah.
at the wedding. That's it.
I just
We'll
wouldn't
figure it out.
But I wouldn't do that to my friends though. Tú sabes lo que tú, manica, prenderle una hookah
And then take it away?
and then take it away. It's like you being in the club and being like, oh, now the hookah time is over.
And then you also gotta remember, not only that, you gotta refill them too because.
Well, you have to get somebody to do that.
No, tú tienes un par de juqueros ahí que están vestidos con corbata y toda la vainita.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not your regular juquero with a t-shirt and like,
No,
I'm
With
getting
the
over there.
hookah in the back.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
if there's no hookah,
Yo no voy.
yo no voy.
Tato.
Yeah, but no. But if there's no hookah at the wedding, at least in the groomsman room, I'm buying the
of
hookah.
course,
I'm buying the hookah.
Oh, no, listen, if I'm a groomsman.
Before you
yeah,
get
yeah.
married, after, you know?
So, babe, you have any final thoughts?
No, I'm good.
No, that wedding one took me completely by
Babe, any
surprise.
final thoughts?
No, forget the wedding.
Oh,
No hookah at the wedding.
no hookah at the wedding. Only in the groomsman room.
Listen, man, I don't know, man. I think a hookah would be nice. I don't think I'd push it to the wedding, but definitely if I'm a groomsman. If I'm a groomsman, I'm definitely be like,
Well, if I'm
yo,
getting married, I need the hookah before I get on
just make sure
on
that
the stage.
Just
Because
make sure
I'm
I'm
a
inviting me.
Chula, you got a wedding in like 2 weeks. You bringing the hookah?
What wedding?
Felipe's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought you meant my
Oh,
wedding.
no.
That's what I thought. I'm like,
No.
no. You married, nigga?
That's what I
I
said.
see him, nigga.
No, you know, I gotta ask.
Oh.
I mean, it's in Patterson.
I know.
It's a passion for sure. You gotta bring it over.
Well, HatedTruth family, I think that this has been a very informational episode. For those that don't smoke hookah, for those that do smoke hookah, y'all knew what we were talking about. I think we hit some really good points. Let us know what you guys think.
Subscribe.
You know, we're always for our YouTube videos, like, comment, and subscribe. For any podcast listeners, tune in.
No, yeah,
Subscribe and like.
There's a subscribe. There's a subscribe. There's a share. You know what I mean? There's a comment. You know what I mean? There's and you make sure you rate. You know, you
Oh,
hit 5
yeah.
star. You drop a
Comment.
comment.
Ooh.
You know, hey, I love this
Ooh.
hookah episode. It makes
Thumbs
a
up.
difference. It makes a difference on your like algorithm and shit.
Oh, snap.
So if you're listening to us, make sure to drop it. Be like, yo, Negro was talking hell shit about hookah. I like that. So
Well,
Yep.
we're not cutting it, so all of this is ending up
that's
in there.
amazing.
Yeah, Negro, let them know where they can find you. With your podcast
All right,
and everything.
so you can find me on all social medias at Negro's Party. When it comes to my podcast, it's Alo Scooter Podcast. On all platforms. That's, you know, whether you think about iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, what else? What is this?
Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. You can find me everywhere. But if you can't find none of that, what you can find right away is if you go to negrosparty.com and you go to my podcast, you're gonna see all the options there, and you could see me there. And the crazy thing is, you know what's funny? I've dropped my podcast for a little bit. I have like a month and change without doing an episode, and I feel bad about it. But
we're all coming on.
But I think this is a good way to
Segue
start
back into it.
Yeah, it's a great way to start
Awesome.
right back at it.
Awesome.
So that's where you can find me at. And on YouTube, you can find me at Alo Scooter TV, where we do a lot of reactions and interviews to like music videos and artists and whatnot. And that's awesome. That's basically what I focus on.
I like it.
Well, what we will do is we will go ahead and tag all of that on our post for Instagram, on our YouTube description, because just like we appreciate you coming out and supporting us, we need to make sure we're always supporting the people that support us. We will go ahead and do that. Please follow, like, comment, subscribe, do the whole thing for his and ours, because we greatly appreciate it.
Of course.
Remember, no hookah, no boy.
Yeah, that's the fact.
That's the word.
Don't you hate that though sometimes though?
No, I don't.
All right, we're
There
gonna
you go,
cut
guys.
it because now we'll be here all night.
No, tell me something. We're gonna cut this. We're gonna cut. Don't you hate when people are like, yo, is there gonna be hookah there? Like, I hate that question. Like, something I think is an obvious. I know it is. Something as a promoter, I hate that question. It's like, first of all, I think you should respect me enough to know that if I'm gonna be there, there's gonna be hookah. And then two of all, what does hookah need to make a difference whether you come to see me or not? You know what I mean?
Well, it depends on how long I'm gonna stay. So there you have it, guys.
That's another episode.
Here we go.
Hate it.
Bye, guys. Hate it.